going on YouTube? How's everybody today? It's good to hear. So today I want to talk about this collaboration album between Xiu Xiu and this band Larsen. Xiu Xiu, I guess, is kind of experimental, and this is not a term I made up, it's a term I read to describe Xiu Xiu as like queer pop. It's supposed to be like Anthony and the Johnsons, or like Morrissey, I guess, more of an experimental kind of vein. And Larsen is also very kind of experimental Italian band, like post-rock. I think someone called it avant-pop chamber music or something like that. I have no idea. I'm not familiar with any of these people's backgrounds, it's just what I read about the bands. But anyway, debut collaboration for the band XXL, and they have a lot of emphasis on this not being just a one-off thing, this is an actual band. The name of the album is Ciautistico? It was released in 2005 on Important Records. And yeah, so basically what happened is these two groups met in a club in Seattle called the Green Room for a Jarbo show. She's a woman who's a member of the band Swans, so they're at some sort of experimental rock show, Seattle. They traded music with each other. Each band was touring separately around Europe, but when they were in the same city, they'd get together and, like, you know, get drunk together, I guess, and talk about music. And eventually they got some time off and just holed themselves up in this recording studio for 11 days and pretty much only went outside just to drink a lot of wine and get drunk. And what happened is they recorded this huge massive tape, like all the just reels and reels of music that they did, and just edited it up and came up with this CD. And what you get on this album is all kinds of music. It's got a variety of genres and textures and stuff on here. It'll go from like minimalism to like some weird experimental drone music to like some weird electronica music to more like kind of a post-rock kind of thing. It's got a couple of styles of vocals on here, from the Anthony and Johnson Morrissey type vocals of James Stewart to some spoken word. There's a girl on here who's doing some sort of spoken word in some foreign language I didn't understand. But yeah, this is an album with a lot of spontaneity, a lot of weird orchestration and instrumentation. For the most part, this album is instrumental, and it's got a very much so like a very abstract, experimental, minimal approach to the music. Like, they'll have your standard rock instruments on here, like guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and then I guess what Xiu Xiu brings to the table is he has all these weird instruments like glockenspiels and accordions and theremins and like who knows what else, like the little kid pianos. It sounds like they have some found sound on here too. But yeah, it's a very quirky record, very like, it's very pretty, but it sounds like very emotionally damaged at the same time. It's got all this kind of weird noisy interjections on it, but it's not like an abrasive version of noise. It's more of like a gentle, kind of softer version of the noise on here. Moods range from like kind of like a melancholy kind of mood, I guess, to like, well, this album's got an overall sense of like playfulness about it. It's because it's very experimental, a lot of weird sounds going on. But mostly kind of like a minimal approach. This album is pretty much a slower CD, but it's also got lots of weird layers of sounds and like interesting, like, you know, instruments going on, making all these weird interjections on here, coupled with like the overwrought confessional kind of yearning vocals going on. This album is 9 songs long, 40 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty cohesive. Like, there's all kinds, like I said, it's a very varied album. Like, they all have sustained notes and drones and like quirky little like electronica songs going on that kind of sound like the band Fortet at times. They got a cover of Adam and the Ants song Prince Charming, which is actually kind of an angsty, angry track on here, and it goes on for like 6 minutes. It's got a very angry approach to the song and stuff. But yeah, I guess it's some blogger called it like art noise and stuff like that, and I'd be inclined to agree. Like, it is very artsy, noisy, but a very soft, minimal approach to it. Nothing too abrasive here. It's a very gentle album, very inviting, very sometimes very lush to listen to, sometimes very alien, weird soundscapes and stuff like that. Hard music to describe. You really have to listen to it to find out what it's like. Weird artwork on the CD too, origami swans, lots of themes of birds, ostrich, I guess. A little bit of lyrics there, more pictures of birds. Picture of a pig, is that a hippo? It's a hippo. Cousin of the pig. And then it just comes with this little sleeve on the inside where a bird's asking, damn, Have you ever seen a caustic something? Cautistic? And it's talking to an Aztec idol, a caustic horse over there. And then this horse is wondering who's that. It's kind of what I'm wondering. What the fuck are you talking about? Cheesy orange, cheddar orange. I don't know what dialect this is. It's not English. Some credits there, giving credits to Adam in the end, saying vocals and recording places, some websites. That's it. But yeah, songs range from like 1 minute to 7 minutes on here. But yeah, it's a pretty fun album. Like, there's a lot of spontaneity. These guys have some cohesiveness to it. Lots of like searching sounds, screeching, chiming, lots of trembling kind of guitars going on in the background, like a lot of quivering, resonating kind of tones, and like I said, it's like pretty heavy. It's got like a lot of emotion. It's noisy. It's got like a lot of drone. Like, there's stuff on here for every fan of like any kind of experimental genre. Like, it's got a little bit of ambient on it, I'd even say at times. But yeah, kind of like a Fortet, Anthony Johnson, Stars of Lid got together and made an album. Sounds like this. Xiu Xiu and Larsen. 2005 album Ciautistico. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is that even a word? 2005 important record. It's pretty weird stuff. Quite enjoyable though.